If you want to be able to buy the most expensive players and open the best packs in FC25, go to u7buy.com to buy your EA FC25 coins. It's cheaper than buying FC points and just as reliable. With their already amazing prices, you can get an extra 6% using promo code Inception at checkout. Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have a 4-4-2 custom tactic to check out. I know, right? Super pay-to-win team. Yeah, this is just me doing PC account stuff, because if we're going to be doing content, then it's going to be helpful to have two different accounts for that, because, you know, depending on how the gameplay feels on one, I switch to the other. Haha. Because we play such a cooked game. Anyways, yeah, so this 4-4-2 is going to come from two different sources, but there is one thing I have to mention with the first tactic that I show you guys, okay? So this tactic is from Tex, okay? Pro Player Tex. This is how it's going to be lined up. So you have the team on balanced, okay? So you don't have 70 deaths for the auto offside traps. The team, when it comes to the roles, is set to... One thing that he does differently is his goalkeeper, he does on goalkeeper defend, I believe. But the reason why I switch it to sweeper keeper is because I don't mind sweeper keeper, but there might be situations where having it on just goalkeeper is more ideal. But again, it depends on the role that you have for your goalkeeper. Both of the center backs are on defender defend. Your right back is on fullback balanced. Your left back is on fullback defend. Left mid is on inside forward balanced. And then you also have your right mid doing the same thing. Honestly, winger, I tried some people's tactics and they have like winger in the side positions. I have yet to use one where I'm like, yeah, this makes sense to use. Like, this game's all about like attacking through the middle, unless, I don't know, maybe you use the crosses and stuff. I feel like if you... No. I was about to say, I thought I cooked it, bro. I thought I cooked it. Yeah. Right center mid, deep lying playmaker defend. Pretty self-explanatory. You want someone that has long ball pass here, right? For the cheaper alternative, we're using Enzo Fernandez in that right center mid position because his passing is very good to work with. You can use anybody like Bruno Fernandes, Patry, Enzo Fernandez, especially if you do the Evo for him, so on and so forth, right? Your center mid on the left side is going to be on playmaker roaming. Believe it or not, these guys actually attack because of the roaming part. When set to roaming, the playmaker will have freedom to explore the pitch and to find the best spaces to support attacks. I'm telling you, in some cases, these guys actually do commit on the attack very nicely. So be very mindful of that. And then both of your strikers are actually on advanced forward attack, right? So it's a fun 4-4-2 because it's something that I personally would use myself, right? Like, you always want to have the one fullback that could potentially push forward, right? Just so that you're not super stagnant on the attack. The way that the team is lined up with ball is lined up like this. So your left back is kind of set up narrowly, or set up in a narrow way for him to be able to defend those situations, right? So Tex was showing in his video, yeah, Theo Hernandez. Theo Hernandez is an absolute cheat code in this game, right? But you can see that there's that balance in the defensive area that is obviously very nice to work with, right? So with this formation, what you're going to want to do, okay, because there's something that I do have to mention, right? And this is only if you notice it yourself, okay? There are moments that because the depth is at a 50, there are moments where your defending feels too inviting, right? Because there's no auto offside trap. So you can have two different versions of this formation, where one is going to be lined up like this, and then your second one that you'll have set up somewhere else is going to have 70 for depth or higher depth, whatever you're comfortable with, just to kind of force that auto offside trap, right? And this will obviously depend on you and what you notice your opponent's doing. If you notice that your opponents are really pressing up against your defenders constantly, then it might be ideal to switch your defensive approach to a 70 so that you can avoid that from happening. But then obviously, if you do the auto offside trap, then someone can go on the counter attack against you, especially if your team is like not the craziest, but it just depends on the players that you have, obviously, right? So that's one version of the custom tactic. Worked out very nicely. You will notice this one for the original highlights with this rare gold team that you see for Foot Champs. And then the second one, which you're going to see with a more meta squad, I'm going to be using a more aggressive 4-4-2, and it's because I have more of a meta squad so that I can kind of push forward and come back really nicely. And you'll see it from the second part of the highlights, right? So you'll see right here that on this custom tactic, you have it set to build up play on counter to force attacking AI out of players. Defensive approach set to high at an 80, and you'll notice that both of your fullbacks are on wingback balance, right? So this is when you really want to be aggressive against your opponent, and your team is a little bit better to work with, right? Like you actually have a lot of meta things to work with. Left mid and right mid, same old, inside forward balanced. Right center mid is going to be playmaker attack. You'll be seeing De Jong actually getting involved quite often in that other 4-4-2 that we show, which is fantastic. We got a card like Enzo Fernandez on holding plus defend. Holding is fine because if you have the long ball pass, you can work with that too. Like it doesn't necessarily have to be deep lying playmaker, right? But obviously you want to work with someone who's actually defensive there. So for instance, if you have Tudor should be played in that specific area. And then for both of your strikers, you have one set to a false 9. Griezmann is fantastic to play in that false 9. He's the one that's going to be part of the second highlights with the more meta squad. And then on the left-hand side, you have advanced forward attack. And we have Gyökeres for the rare goals team. And Gyökeres is absolutely incredible. The only reason why people don't use him right now is literally because of his links. Because if he played... if he played for a team that gave you good links, people would be using that team. If he played for Manchester United, oh yeah, that's the triple link setup between Dalot, Bruno Fernandes, and Gyökeres 100%. Just like that. It's GG's. Everyone would be using him 100%. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So you're going to want to have 3 different variations of this 4-4-2 to help you out depending on the situation of the game. If you want to start your team in a 4-4-2 and you want to end it in a 4-4-2 and you don't want to switch to like a 4-2 or a 4-4-1-1 or anything like that, you just want to play 4-4-2, those are going to be the 3 iterations. Mainly 2 iterations, but it's just text with the 70 depth that will help you out in certain situations as well, right? So that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the introduction. I'll show you guys the highlights of how the team generally plays. You guys know me. I try my best to score actual good authentic plays, and we scored a lot during these highlights, and I actually roast people because they start to use mechanics, you know what I'm saying? But we move, boys. We move. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys. I'll catch you guys for next one, okay? Peace out. I'll try... I'm always trying out a different tactic every day for you guys because it's good to give you guys options, right? So, okay, guys. So for these initial highlights, I'm going to do commentating over it because I'm stupid. It's when I did the PC settings, my gameplay audio was like so loud in the recording, so I'm like, oh, I can't use that. But yeah, basically this initial highlight that you guys will be seeing is me using the text 4-4-2, right? So right off the bat, bad giveaway by the opponent in that situation there. I can't even blame people for giveaways in those situations because of the delay in this game, right? Like he could be making a pass into a different direction and passes it upwards. We don't know, right? We don't know. But yeah, a lot of really cool buildups in this, right? So obviously with the 4-4-2, a lot of it really just depends on you utilizing the side positions, going back into the middle, players tracking back into the area so that you can make that one pass, right? So you see bang, bang, Gyökeres gets open. We go for a green time strike. You know, he has the weak foot and the strong foot to work with because he's a 5-star weak-footed player. So he's just fantastic to work with in that sense. Like Gyökeres would 100% be a striker that people would use more often if he was a type of player that gave you easier links. Like that was a really nice goal there too, where we pass it into the middle. Gyökeres positions himself really well, kind of backs off from the center back in that position so that he can kind of receive possession of the ball just to hit a nice little strike. And I don't even think we greened that, and he still did a really good job, right? So again, a really good build up here. You know, with Gyökeres, we commit. We see Nkunku at the top over here. We can just make that pass. You know, would he have done the same thing if I had him on a false 9? Maybe not, right? That's why the advanced forward allows you to kind of pick and choose what type of attacking AI situations you want. So this is another good situation here where we work with a small amount of dribbles to kind of wait for the space to open up. And this is the part here where, you know, you get to utilize that inside forward part, right? Where when you're building up the play in the side positions and you're going back into the middle, you're going to notice that attacking AI working at some point. And these guys are not great, right? This is a rare gold team. You know, Neto doesn't have inside forward for the right mid position, and you know he's still doing it whenever he can, right? So very good stuff to work with. Again, build up play here, build up play here. You notice that his center back overcommits in that situation there. So again, that inside forward movement with João Felix allows us to score that opportunity as well. Like I said, guys, with wingers, I don't know how people can use wingers, man. Like I feel like I'm not. It was the first thing that I noticed when I first initially played this game. I just felt like I wasn't getting enough movement out of those positions, but I guess it depends on the play style that you're going for too. Like if you're going to go for headers, then obviously you can do that too. This guy just started scoring in his own net once we scored like 4 goals. So once you score 3 own goals, it ends up being a W. This is from kickoff right away, right? Overcommitting space like crazy. Through ball into Gyökeres, who times the run really well. I think I may have triggered that one initially. Like I actually pressed L1 for him to make the movement. But regardless, does a great job for us there, right? The advanced forward on Gyökeres is so good to work with because he's a physical player. So there's so many situations where like right here, I can make an extra pass, but then I can also just shoot with his like weak foot or strong foot and I'm still good, right? This is a very good example of working with advanced forward for a physical type attacker like this. Look at this. Lob pass. Boom, I win that engagement. All I have to do is shoot afterwards. It's incredible. There goes me saying, hey guys, get Gyökeres, he's so good. And then my game audio just completely cuts it out. Sure. We'll take that. Mistimed, but we got it. This 4-4-2 is cooking. Beauty. Oh, dude, you can literally, like, the console gameplay, guys, is a joke, man. You can literally see the lag right there. This delay, I don't want to get into it. Yeah, I have no words, guys. I'm telling you, this console gameplay, I have no words, man. I have no words, bro.